You all know my name already, and I'm one of the tuition classification officers for CU Boulder. Just so you all know, this is my first time doing a presentation, so hopefully you'll all be generous and nice to me. So it's my job to follow the Colorado tuition law when verifying students' petitions. As a graduate student, you may be qualified to be establishing your domicile beginning today. And it might be critical that you do so. Your department may expect you to become a Colorado resident. If you are working for your department, it might be in your contract that you have to apply as a resident, okay? So we're seeing a lot of that this semester. So if you're enrolled as a non-resident for the first year here at CU, then you must submit a petition in order to be able to change your residency status. This is the law, and the burden of proof is going to be placed on each and every one of you when you go to petition. So just know that the only way that you can change your residency status is to petition. It is not done automatically. I had a few students who called me this semester who thought it was an automatic thing because they had been here over a year. So I just wanted to make that clear because I've had a few of them who were not very happy with me. So when you do go to submit your petition, I would say that you please submit it as early as you can. Simply because on the last day of July 21st was the last day to submit your petition for the fall of 2017. We had over 100 petitions come in. So there's a lot of these students who still have not been given a decision. So I really admonish you to please submit your petition as early as possible. Our qualifying date for the fall of 2018 will begin on August 26th of 2017. So that's when we would want your lease and everything else to be showing that you began your domicile here in Colorado as of that date. So I'm going to just go over some quick things to do for your qualifying. So you have to have a lease when you get here to the state of Colorado. I'm sure most of you have a lease. You have to have a lease. It cannot be like living in the dorms here. That does not count. So you have to have a lease, and if you move during the year of your domicile, keep that first lease and then keep the copy of the second lease. Because we have to have proof that you were here every day for the 12 months and 1 day, okay? Also, you must also be able to show that your intent to become a Colorado resident by, all those of you who are holding a driver's license from your former state, you have to get a driver's license within 120 days. Now, when we look at that and you get your driver's license immediately, we know that you severed your ties from your former state by getting your Colorado driver's license. Those who do not drive, we ask that you get a Colorado ID as well. And you can get both of those over at the motor vehicle, the DMV here in Boulder, Colorado. Those of you who register, please change your voter registration. That is one of the largest things that we use to make you a resident and see that your intent to be a resident is that through your voter registration. You cannot hold on to your registration from your previous state, because then that's telling us that you still consider your previous state as your permanent home of residence, okay? Those of you who have a vehicle, and if the registration is in your name, you need to change your registration over to Colorado within 180 days. And I'm going to go back to driver's license. You have 120 days of moving to Colorado by state law to change your driver's license over to Colorado. And those of you I'm sure many of you will be working. So those of you who will be working, we're going to ask for copies of your taxes. So when you go to file your taxes, you can always file in both states, because I know a lot of you came like now in August, right? So you had January to July 31st to file in your former state if you worked. So then from August 1st to December 31st, you would file here in Colorado. Now when you go to file, be sure to put down that you are a part-time resident of Colorado, and that you were not a full resident from the state that you came from. And use your Colorado address when you file your taxes. If you don't, you're going to get a nice little email from us saying, why did you file taxes with your former state address, okay? So if you have all of that information correctly, it makes our process and the decision for us to make for you a lot easier. Also, when if you're filing for both states, we need your federal taxes, your state taxes, and if you filed it from your former state, there's also another form called a 104 PN. That's going to give us the exact dates that you filed here in the state of Colorado, and make sure that on that form that you mark that you are a part-time resident, part-year resident, I'm sorry, okay? So, on the petition, it indicates that you need to provide and clearly shows the petition deadlines for each semester. So I'm going to give you a few tips. You need to turn it in by the posted deadline. If you have documentation ready, turn it in well ahead of the deadline to avoid the rushes. Be sure to complete all information on the petition. Don't leave anything blank. And if you're not sure, give us a call or shoot us an email. And I'm going to leave these little pamphlets here. And I'd like for everyone to get one. And everything you need is on this little pamphlet, information that's regarding your petition process. So you can shoot us an email, stop by the office. One of the residency officers will be happy to help you, answer your questions, or anything that you're not sure of. We would rather take the time to help you than to have to delay your process in your petition. So, and submit all your documents that's indicated on the petition. There's some little gray boxes on the side on your petition. And in the little gray boxes, it's telling you exactly what you need to submit with your petition. Please be sure to submit that with your petition as well. So if you follow all of these tips, your review will go by nice and smooth and quickly, and I love that, trust me. It makes me really happy when I can say, yes, approved. It's really frustrating when I have to deny somebody for something that was so easily had to be done. So you can first, those of you who will be setting your petition for the fall of 18, the first day that we will accept a petition in our office is April 2nd of 2018. And your deadline to submit a petition at 5 o'clock, or actually it'll be 4:30 because it will be summer hours at that time, will be 4:30 on July 20th of 2018, okay? So don't come a minute after that, please, because we will not take the petition. And we had to turn away a few students, and it is so heartbreaking. I hate it. Because you go through all that work, and then you're not there on time. So get it there as early as you possibly can. After we receive your petition, we'll go through a review of it. If we see there's anything missing, if we have any questions, we're going to reply to you to your colorado.edu email. That's the only email we will use simply because you're a student and it's protected. We know that it's a safe email, okay? So if those of you who have any more questions, and if what's on here doesn't help you, we offer a TC 501 class, which will give you a little bit more information than what I gave you now. But actually, and it's about a 20-minute, 25-minute class. But if you want specific information regarding yourself, you feel free to attend that class. You can sign up for it online. But if you go through the brochure, everything I told you, print out your petition online. We have that on our website, and it's the adult petition for each one of you. So print it out, and in there it's very self-explanatory, everything that you'll need. So I just want to ask, we have people here with the Western region, right? 1, 2, 3. You, none, the three of you, do not follow what I said. We have a form online that you need to print out, okay? So you'll need to get that form, and then you will need to submit it with, first of all, I'm sure, well, with your program. We'll verify that your program is part of the WRGB, okay, perfect. She's saying yes, so you're all good. So that part's already over. So then what we'll need is 2 years of your taxes. We will need a copy of your voter registration, a copy of your driver's license, and you'll also have to make a statement on that form, and everybody passes it up, because it's real small after you sign it. You have to explain why you want to stay as a resident from your home, okay? So you will get that form, fill it out. If you've not done so, get it into us as soon as possible, and then we can make a decision for you immediately. We're trying to get these things processed before the tuition deadline comes up, so that way you're not looking at the bill and going, wait a minute, I shouldn't have to be paying this, but you will have to pay it until we get that. So the sooner you can get online, get the information, submit it to us, we can get a decision to you, okay? Does anyone have any questions? That's a tuition classification. 501 is for adult students.
Oh, okay.
And that's a class that we give going over the same information, but just in a little bit more detail. Not a whole lot more, but a little bit. And then we allow the students to ask questions. We have some students who, will have, for instance, I have students who, adult students who they have their parents' vehicles. And so the vehicle and the registration is in the parent name. Don't have to worry about that. If you're using the vehicle, though, we just need a copy of that registration to show proof that it's not in your name. If the vehicle's in your name, that's when we need to know that you've registered that vehicle. Okay? Well, yes?
Did you say that income taxes are filed for Colorado and the other state, or just Colorado?
If you worked in your previous state, then go ahead and file. And also file, if you worked here in Colorado during your domicile period, you can file for Colorado as well.
Okay.
Okay?
So it will cover the part that you worked in Pennsylvania, in your case, in your Pennsylvania taxes, and the part for Colorado in your Colorado taxes.
But you want to
It
do
divides
it
it out.
every year, just this year.
Just this year.
Yeah, just this year.
Oh, okay.
So you have to file, you have to pay taxes in your previous state for work that you did in your previous state, and you'll pay taxes in this state for work you did in this state.
In the past year.
In the past year,
Got it.
in 2017.
Correct. Okay? Yes?
Repeat again, you mentioned something about the date of August 26, 2017 for 2018 or something?
That is the date that we use as your domicile's date, that we say you have to be here in the state of Colorado as of that date. And that's when you begin your domicile period as establish your residency from that day forward. So you have to have a lease that's on that day or before, okay? Yes?
So it's due on the 22nd, but we don't actually have to have lived here for an entire year before we file, because our petition is due on the 22nd, the date is August 26th.
Right. Yeah, we have that little bit of legal room in there that we use. You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, thank you, and thank you for being nice to me. I really appreciate it.